I've been away, but I've been thinking about you almost every day. Thinking how bad I feel by falling behind my recording schedule. I've been busy in the most satisfying way in decades. I'm not that old, but I can say that I haven't been as productive as I've been for the last few weeks in the last 20 years. I don't think I remember this feeling when I was discovering my first hobbies, my first passion for creative stuff. I have this sense of flow, persistent, consistent, intense feeling of working on the idea without stopping. It has never been possible before. There would have been those natural roadblocks along the way, like you work on a creative project and you would stumble upon something you would need to find solution for. You would need to ask somebody, you would need to watch some videos, read, think, sketch. And as I say it, because what I'm going to say is those steps are kind of fading away. AI is just pushing itself to the beginning of this queue of possible solutions, how to solve a problem. And it's unfortunate because all of those roadblocks, they were always an exact reason why we've been learning, why we've been always improving our skills. This tension, this friction would always be in the past opening up possibilities to learn a new skill. They would create motivation to walk away from your main focus and to learn and then solve the problem. The feeling of solving problems is now gradually becoming outsourced to AI, where we just ask AI or we tell AI. And it's a trade-off because we can go a lot faster, but we also miss that important, very precious step. And I really feel it's a trade-off because, I've been looking at one of my external hard drives, which are not really connected that often to my computer because this hard drive is filled with projects that I started and kind of abandoned. And I abandoned them because I couldn't find solution. I would get stuck, or maybe enough time would be gone for me to lose momentum. But most of the time, I would approach a moment where finding solution would mean full commitment to this, to the point where this is becoming the most important thing in my life. Do you have that feeling sometimes? You see the project that it can swallow your attention entirely. Many of my projects wouldn't deserve that kind of attention in the past. I would always see them, it would be nice to make this illustration. It would be nice to make this comic book. It would be nice to make this animation or a movie or a vlog. But I'm not gonna sacrifice all of those things in my life in order to do it. It's not worth it. I would be fine with, I have this idea, maybe I'll get back to it in the future. And those projects will end up being on my hard drive. And that's pretty much the life cycle of my creative projects until now, many of them at least. And now AI is stepping in to fill that missing link. And I'm experiencing this for weeks now in a row. I'm just producing with no end. I've been thinking of myself as someone with really low energy. I would see myself as someone who can work at a computer for maybe like 3 hours in a row, and then I would either need to take a break or just call it a day. It was just really exhausting. And maybe there was something going on. Maybe I was not well. But now when I'm in this precious, incredible feeling of flow, creative flow, I cannot walk away from it. And I found myself working from morning till evening on a project. And AI is stepping into those areas where we would normally feel the friction. We would need to find solution to, okay, how do I learn this so I get this skill and I can push my project further. This would have been previously a motivation to improve ourselves. Now AI is taking this over, and at the same time, I have to say AI has been such an incredible teacher of those skills. You know, I'm using AI to code, so I don't need to. But it's not like I'm just asking AI to do it. I'm asking, but I'm also learning. I'm asking it to explain me what's happening. It tells me what to do with the code. So it's not completely an autopilot. It's not entirely a black box. I've learned about coding, about computing, I've learned so many skills without even thinking I would go into that. Without thinking I would learn those things so quickly, so easily, because when I do something with AI, I learn by doing, and nothing is ever stopping us, me and my AI companion. I was always reluctant to learn code because of the fear of getting stuck, because of the fear of doing a project that will never be completed, because there is just too much to learn in order for it to be finished. Or maybe doing projects that are so trivial that they don't bring me satisfaction. I created projects that I had no idea are possible. And I've learned so much about programming. I'm very thankful for this technology to exist. And at the same time, I'm very fearful as well, because I don't know what it does to me, to my creativity. I know what it does for my productivity, but I don't know what it does for a creative side of me. I know it's not creative. I'm convinced after all those weeks of creative work and interactions and discussions, I know it's not thinking, it's not reasoning. It's a parallel trick. It's an illusion. It's really just a software that combines information. It's very biased. It's extremely biased. And on few occasions, I fell into a trap of relying on AI's recommendations blindly. And maybe this is a learning curve that I'm experiencing, and maybe we're all experiencing. I don't know if this resonates with you. The bottom line is, I'm extremely productive those days. I'm learning a lot, and I'm motivated, and I'm fascinated about possibilities of creating things on my own with AI. And I don't want to eliminate people from that equation. I actually need to bounce ideas of people very much, because I see that I'm in this cognitive loop where AI will be just confirming my bias, it will be confirming my beliefs and ideas, and it will never contradict me truly. I'm seeing a lot of fascination like that around, and I'm becoming more and more self-deprecative self-deprecating. And maybe it's a very naive phase to have, to experience. You know, maybe it's like that time when camcorders became popular. People would be not used to being in front of a camera, and whenever you would go with a camcorder into a crowd, people would do this. They would not want to be in front of the camera. I mean, they would be excited, but they would feel so extremely awkward. Maybe that's what it is. We feel extremely awkward with AI, and we are losing sense of self or our inner voice, and we are just falling for those tricks very easily. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. How are we going to adapt to this? I think it's very important to tune out from a lot of narrative that's online. All of those videos that on one day tell us, oh, we all going to lose jobs. AI will destroy our planet because of the energy consumption. There's so much of misleading information out there. Those so-called facts are so shallow. They kind of remind me of the way how AI reasoning can work sometimes. I cannot help myself but give an example. That problem of AI consuming electricity in excess. If you compare how other digital things consume energy, you'll be surprised. Compare use of YouTube. Compare it to use of AI in terms of electricity, the carbon footprint of it. An hour of binging on YouTube or LinkedIn, yeah. LinkedIn has been on my mind a lot. Netflix, I meant to say, is staggering compared to, binging with AI, trying to solve some creative or life-related mystery or generating an image. It hides in comparison to what we do normally on the internet, but we don't really think about it in terms of energy consumption and the CO2 emissions. So it's a very confusing time. I'm enjoying the ride. I'm enjoying the fact that it's a new thing that we get to experience. I'm enjoying that this is something that we didn't dream of before. And I've experienced new inventions like, smartphone and the internet, of course. I grew up without internet. I had it introduced in my life, in my early childhood. But I still remember a life without it. And with internet being a very scarce resource, just having very little of internet every day. Like having internet for 1 hour. It was transformative, but it was always on the side of existing. AI is so present in our life, like nothing before. And I've experienced many, many trends that were promising to change reality, to change the way how we live. Like Bitcoin, or I guess social media also. I guess social media also were transformative like that. Early social media, right? That faded out, that transformed and backfired. And now our understanding of what social media is and what it does for us is very different. So maybe there is some comparison with that. Point could be made. Because it did transform industries, the way how we communicate, how we exist, right? It escalated to dating, it escalated to interpersonal relationships. But AI seems to be a lot more intense and aggressive. And maybe that's just the nature of things. Maybe every next thing is more aggressive and more intense. So I've been sitting at home. I've been enjoying this very special time in my life because 2 months ago I became unemployed. Ironically, because of AI. Or maybe it was AI washing. I will never know. But I've been given this gift of having so much time to spend on whatever I want. And I completely embraced this. I'm producing like never before. I'm thinking of career-related projects that I could start on my own. You know, coming up with some internet-based business or digital product. And again, this sense that I could do it on my own. I don't need to get into a messy relationship with a business partner. I can just do it. So I've created a couple of projects like that, and I'm releasing them. They are not validated yet, but they exist. There are websites for them. There are demos. It's incredible. It's just insane. I feel like I'm either preaching to the choir or, you know, people who are thinking differently, they just tune out. So I think I'll tune myself out as well. You know, this was meant to be just kind of like a warm-up episode to restart this channel. And I would leave it as that. But I promise to record more. And I'm embracing this video component to my podcast because I feel like podcasting is also changing, especially now with video podcasting. Things are changing a lot, and I feel like I need to be in tune with the change. So here's me applying myself to this change. I hope you enjoy this content, and I will speak to you again soon. Take care.